Welcome again to the Franciscan Hermitage as we celebrate the 17th Sunday in Ordinary Time. I wanted to spend just a little bit of time on that gospel passage about ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. You know, I think it's really important for you to understand that Jesus, as I said often, is our model. And very seldom during the scriptures do we find Jesus saying prayers. And that, of course, is what most people think about when we say prayer. They're thinking about either reciting a prayer that they memorized, or they're reading a prayer. That's not the kind of praying that Jesus did. Jesus was frequently going off by himself to get involved in what we call mental prayer or meditation, and it's completely different. It is a more effective way of praying, but it is prayer. It's mental prayer. And as you recall, Jesus spent 40 days in the desert in quiet, okay? And he wasn't talking. He was simply there to become aware of the divine presence within him. And the prayer is visual, not verbal. And I think that it's really important for you to understand that that kind of prayer is far more powerful than what we know as vocal prayer. Now, there's nothing wrong with vocal prayer. Vocal prayer is a very valid way of communicating with God, especially with youngsters. You can teach them how to talk to God as if you were talking to another person, so it's very practical. But as you mature spiritually, you will be led to mental prayer or meditation. Now, that's not the only two categories we have of prayer. We also have contemplative prayer. But I want to focus in this presentation on meditation. It's important for you to remember that Jesus would go off to a mountaintop, or he would go to a garden at night. And he was not talking. He was simply going into meditation, being consciously aware of the divine presence within him, and he was simply visualizing what it was that was to be in his life, or what was to come in his life. Or he was visualizing God helping him to get through some very difficult parts of his life. And that's what the Hermitage here is all about. We want people to understand that mental prayer or meditation is a very powerful way of communicating with the divine. But the language is images, not words. So, for example, we are teaching people how to use meditation, for example, to manage their weight. Okay? These are all practical things. When you go into meditation and you become consciously aware of the divine presence that is within you all the time, and you start picturing yourself at your ideal weight, that image is going to be projected not only with your energy but with divine energy And what happens is that the image that you are creating with your mind gets impressed on your brain, and the brain does not understand whether this is a synthetic direction or whether it's a real direction. It just takes the information. Then the brain starts to give direction to the body, and automatically the mind and the brain, working together with the energy that is the divine presence within you, that energy directs the mind and the brain working together to produce a particular effect. And it's powerful. The scientists are telling us that this is the way we create reality. We are co-creators. So that when you are putting thought process into your subconscious and you're seeing yourself as a kind, gentle, loving, compassionate person, those directives get picked up by the brain and start working through the subconscious mind, and you become what you think about, because you are working with the divine energy that is the essential part of you. You know, my dear friends, you really must understand that what Jesus was talking about here is that when you ask, you receive. If you fill your mind with good, healthy, wholesome, positive thoughts, you're going to be a good, healthy, wholesome, positive person. It's cause, effect. And it's not like you're asking God for anything. It's like you and God together are working to co-create that reality. And there is no limit. The saints and the holy people of all major religions throughout the centuries understood this process. And by seeing themselves as people like Jesus, they became that kind of person. So the application here is very simple. Those of you who understand meditation, please continue this practice. And if you can, help people understand how powerful this kind of prayer is. And if you don't have any background in meditation, see what you can do about finding someone or some place where you can get information about mental prayer. That's your homework. And when you start getting the results, please be in touch with us. We'll tell your success stories. Have a wonderful week, and God bless you all.